Well, I gotta say one thing about this move. My new commute is awesome. I absolutely hated my old commute. The Googles and the Waze said it was a 40-minute trip. It never took me less than an hour. Especially in the afternoon, where all the major highways were useless, jam-packed with traffic that just didn't feel like going anywhere. Even the back roads were packed. At least we usually kept moving, but it was awful. And well, this is my commute now. Look at all this traffic. There's a truck. What's up with that? That's a lot of traffic on this road. Yeah, I gotta say, living in New Hampshire, in this respect especially, is definitely agreeing with me. It is involving a lot of downsizing though, a lot. I'm going from a house to an apartment, so a lot of things have to go, and a lot of things already have. Just this past Saturday night, I sold my Honda Shadow Ace 1100, the bike I started this channel with, the bike I made my first video with. Why did it go? Well, it all came down to the fact that a bit over a year ago, it was cheaper and easier to put this thing back on the road than to replace the water pump on the Shadow. In Honda's infinite wisdom, they stuck the water pump on the side of the engine where it's right next to the frame when it's inside the bike. So you have to remove, or at least move, the engine to replace the water pump. I had this thing taken around the garage from an interesting situation. It had been dropped and bashed up a bit, but it was still less expensive and easier to get new parts and put this back on the road than to fix the Shadow. So that's what I did. Been riding it ever since, figuring, oh yeah, I'll get to the Shadow at some point. Well, over a year later, I never did. And well, I'm losing the garage I store it in, so it had to go. And after the usual starts and stops of scammers and idiots on Craigslist, found a legitimate person who legitimately bought it. Another thing that's gone away is the Jetta Ute, kind of. That one isn't truly gone. Its relationship status is, it's complicated. And see, right here is the town of Temple, New Hampshire, one of the major metropolises whose center I go screaming through on my commute. And you can see the traffic here is intolerable. I mean, look at that. There's cars parked over there. There's cars parked over there. There's cars. Okay, there's nobody on the road. But, yeah. This is seriously my kind of commute. So anyway, the deal with the Jetta, that I would have liked to have brought with me, but it's interesting. New Hampshire, the state motto is live free or die, right? And they are extremely, unrestrictive about a great many things here. But one thing they are more restrictive than Massachusetts about is emissions testing. Massachusetts has a 15-year rolling exemption on emissions testing. Now, the Jetta, it's an old Volkswagen. If the check engine light turns off, that's when you know you have a problem. But it's a 2003. It's more than 15 years old. All it needs is a basic safety check to be street legal. Well, New Hampshire, yeah, they go back a bit longer. I've seen conflicting reports as far as how far back they require emissions testing, but all of them agree it's well past 2003. So if I brought the Jetta here, I'd have to drop a lot of cash into getting it fixed up enough to pass. That, plus the lack of parking where I live now, means it was just easier to not bring it. Around the same time as I was realizing all this, close friend of ours who, has a farm, does a lot of farm work, was saying, I'd really like to get a small, cheap pickup truck. And we thought to ourselves, hey, so we made a deal. We have given her the Jetta. Yes, no money, no nothing. We've given her the Jetta, and it is legally hers. And we have the agreement that we can borrow it back, maybe not whenever we need, but certainly negotiate to borrow the thing back anytime we need a small truck. This way, it stays legally owned and registered in Massachusetts, where it does not have to pass emissions. Its primary home, its primary user is a Massachusetts resident, completely legal. And I can still use it. And I have been using it to bring stuff all over the place. We moved a bed last weekend. We moved a sofa up to my place. We towed the Shadow up to New Hampshire because the guy who bought it is in the town over from me. So yeah, it's alive and well, just not legally mine anymore. When you look at this horrific traffic, I mean, come on. We're going up over the top of Temple Mountain right now. Some days the weather up here gets kind of dicey. This is really kind of a divide between weather systems to the east and to the west. But not today. See? Not today.
What do we say to the god of death?
Not today.
Sarcasm aside, this is the worst traffic I get into on my commute. Okay, even that's not entirely true. They're doing a bunch of construction on 202 in Peterborough, which is where we're going, right near the center of town, and that messes everything up. But there are back ways around that from both directions, so I just avoid that area until I know they're done with it. I check in every once in a while, but as soon as I get stuck in traffic, I just turn around and go another way, whatever. It's great about a bike. One-point turns. So yeah, I've cut down to this and my Subaru, and like I've already said, the New Hampshire life is definitely agreeing with me. Here's that back way, or one of them. One I end up taking at least, because I don't want to get stuck in traffic. This is about as stuck in traffic as I get. So really, that's just a quick update. There's really nothing of substance here. Just a little update on what's going on, and some very nice scenery that I happen to see every day on my new commute. Well, I say new. I'm recording this in June, and I've had the job since January, so not so new to me. But I haven't been making videos in a while, so it's new to you guys.